drive around neighborhoods and see someone doing it and ask them if they'll do it for you.
That's a good idea. I just don't know how to get live sheep into my truck, like in the cab.
You need a sheepdog.
That makes sense. I don't know if wool's worth it. Anyway, let's get the show started. Folks, welcome to Wrap It Up, the show where every week we go through every single person in the upcoming field. This week it is the Magic Week, Justin. It is Daytona 500 week. And this is Wrap It Up.
Wrap it up.
Yes, so welcome. This is the big week, Super Bowl of NASCAR. But that was up to debate from some drivers I was hearing this week that maybe it's not viewed as a Super Bowl by some of the drivers, but it is to diehard NASCAR fans for years and years. So I'm excited for the race, excited for the quals tonight, qualifying races tomorrow night, and the races this weekend at Daytona. So I'm interested to see what kind of cool paint schemes we have, and we're going to see a new Daytona 500 winner this weekend.
You think so?
I think so.
I think we are too, but, you never know with this race. And then again, maybe, like you said at the start, if people are like, this isn't the Super Bowl, it's just another race, maybe they ain't got the heart in it or something. I don't know. But we'll get to that and everything else. Let's take a look at the first cars we've got this Daytona 500. The season's starting.
Ooh.
Folks, if you joined us last week, our first episode was last week, and we had some technical problems. Everything didn't get worked out, but I'm telling you what, we're coming back hard this week, and we're going to look at each car just going through the field this week since it's the new season, right in their numbered order. And the first one we've got, the Melon Man himself.
Yes.
Driving that healthy watermelon car from down Florida. Advent Health, Ross Chastain. What do you think, Justin?
What kind of medicine do they put in the watermelons?
It tastes better than normal medicine.
Okay.
I mean, my whole thing about this car is I like that they went with the melon thing down there, but they kind of shaped it like it's a stalk of corn opening up, and that confuses my simple brain. I don't know. Is it corn? Is it watermelon? Ross, please tell me what's going on. Are you driving on the walls? Are you driving... I don't know.
He'll know. He grows them things out of the ground or wherever they come from.
Yeah. I mean, he makes his own things. That's the whole thing about being a farmer, is the creation. He makes this stuff. What do you think? Got a shot?
A shot at the race?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's
got a good
shot at
car.
the race.
Kicks butt.
The wrap, the paint scheme here is kind of just meh for me. It's neat, but oh well.
Right. Kind of basic, very, very standard with those, like, just colors shooting off and, like, spikes. That's almost a cliche NASCAR thing. Let's put colored spikes on the car. That'll look cool. Just get some colors everywhere. Yeah. I think Ross has a good year. I don't think he pulls the 500 off, but you never know. I think he's in contention, that's for sure. Yeah. How about this guy right here who won the Daytona 500 last year? Car number 2 in your guide.
Yeah, there's no repeat. No repeat.
I don't see it either. Of course, I didn't see it happening last year either.
Well,
so
yeah, but
you never know.
Penske teammates like to wreck each other in the last lap of the Daytona 500.
That's true. That's very true.
That might happen this year.
It might.
Before that.
He's probably got some confidence from last year. Maybe he gets a little cocky at the end and tries to run off without the 12 or the 21 or the 22, any of his teammates that help him out. Who knows? Mm-hmm. He could go back-to-back. As far as the paint scheme goes, man, this paint scheme was so ran by Brad Keselowski when he was in the 2 that my mind just identifies them together. Like, I think they should have swapped it up a little bit, give Austin kind of his own look, I mean, that was one thing everybody talked about when Byron took over the 24. It's like, this ain't Gordon's car anymore. It's Gordon's number, but make it, make his own thing. I think every driver deserves that a little bit. I know the number 2 is a brand for Penske that they need to keep, and Discount has their own logos, but you could have done a little bit of updating to this, instead of the same old thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you heard about Bass Pro Shop Club?
I heard about the Cabela's Club used to send me stuff.
Really?
Trying to tell me that I should buy certain things there.
They wanted you to be a member of the club.
Uh-huh.
Well, they combined with Bass Pro Shops. Bass Pro Shops bought them out. I guess Johnny thought that was a good idea. Now it's just Bass Pro Shop Club.
Bass Pro Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no Cabela's anymore.
You go over there and Johnny, again, with the club. He's there. He's got Martin Rexics. They're up there. They're just jamming. It's just EDM all night. Austin Dillon just at the club.
With rifles in the
Yeah.
air.
Fishing rods.
Fishing rod in one hand and my shotgun in the other.
Listen, I love the grayish camouflage deal they got going on these cars. That's hot. That gray and white and black. It's just, ooh, it's nice.
Yeah, for some reason I like this better on Austin's car than I did. You know, Martin had a little similar scheme last week or 2 weeks ago when he won the Clash. But I like this one, the look of this one better. Maybe it is the gray camo.
Yeah, the roof's a little more mixed in. Martin had that silver roof last week. Stood out a little bit. But it's hot. It's hot. Can't go wrong. What do you think about the man on his last year, Mr. Kevin Harvick?
I don't think he's going to win the Daytona 500, but
fair.
It'd be
fair.
cool to see him, like, you know, kind of a sympathy or whatever. I don't know. That's not the right word I'm trying to say, but
Like
nostalgia.
just some nostalgia. Yeah, go out on top, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like, who knows what's going on with SHR? They missed the mark big last year, I feel like. I mean, I know he got 2 wins, but he also got a penalty that basically took all the points away from those 2 wins because, you know, I'm like, well, nobody else really had much of a car. I feel like SHR is going to be stronger this year for some reason. I don't know. Maybe that's just a gut feeling. I've got nothing to base it on. Just thinking.
Well, from what I saw from the race in the Clash, I don't know. Harvick seems like he's just doesn't care what he's going to do this year. He just was punting the 34 and, you know, just paying people back. So
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool.
Just
Harvick
make sure. I raced
through
1 year
people.
just to get all your debts settled.
Yeah,
Just totaling everybody. Well, maybe.
it's possible.
I saw today on Media Day Kyle Busch talking about him and Harvick had rode to Daytona together across the state from a dirt track or a short track they were at last night. And I was like, wow, they used to hate each other with a passion.
Right.
Now they're hanging out, so maybe a little bit different change for both of them, you know. Kyle Busch going over to RCR. Harvick was there all those years. Maybe they can trade a little bit of information. As far as Harvick's paint scheme goes, that's the standard. He's going to run for the most part. He gets a lot of good Busch schemes that are different. This basic one, though, maybe I've just seen it. Maybe he spoiled me with all the variants. This one I'm just kind of bored of.
Yeah, it's just a lot of silver.
It is a lot of silver. A lot of silver.
And speaking of another paint scheme that just kind of bores me, even though this is a driver that I cheer for, HendrickCars.com, as we talked about in the first episode, Rick's making the money off of it. I mean,
Make that money.
he don't care. So I guess KL don't care either. But
No, probably not. He'd make the money, too.
I'm looking for some variations. Maybe there's a couple coming this year. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know either, yeah. Everything I hear, Rick's like, nah, I'm printing money with this car. He just don't care. I get it. I mean, if I was in Rick's situation, I'm the largest car dealer in the world. I'm going to advertise my car dealerships, too, on these cars. I mean, on the big stage.
I mean, I buy every diecast win,
Yeah.
Kyle Larson, and I'd like to have a wall that
Something
looks
a little different. I think you're going to have a lot of this. That's my opinion, but here's a guy who needs a rebound year. Big Brad.
He's got more
Brad.
drugs on his car.
He got him a drug. He got the Nexlitz.
Next lizards.
So he loves drugs. I mean, I guess that's a good thing for a NASCAR driver. I don't know. It didn't work out for Jeremy Mayfield very well, but maybe it's better for Brad. I don't know. I think this sponsor is going to cover him and the 17 this year. Paint scheme's pretty plain.
Yeah.
To me, anytime your car's primary white, you didn't try very hard.
This looks kind of childish, too.
It does. It does kind of, yeah. It also kind of looks overloading. Like there's so much road on it and stuff. It's like a bottle that has, warning, you may be blah, 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 you know, down below it and stuff. I'm like, it's too busy. Too much little riding for 200 miles an hour for me. Slap the name of the drug all the way down the side of it. Take it at your own risk. Just write that across the back of the car. If you die, you die. This is Daytona, baby. Daytona. It is what it is.
Well,
course,
Keselowski is good at these type of tracks.
he
so
is very good at these kind of
he's
tracks.
got a shot at winning.
And definitely, last year, they were strong speed weeks. Him and the 17.
Yeah.
Didn't they? They won both duels, didn't they?
Is
that right?
So?
What about this big boy?
More of the temperature reading and metrics.
Yeah, temperature in a can from Europe. Can't beat it. This scheme looks a lot like what we showed last week for the 78.
Yeah,
Like they ran out of paint and they were just like, here it is. I guess Cialis or Celsius just wants this scheme.
This week, they don't even have to add an extra number.
Right? They got all that extra space.
It's easier.
You can write it on there bigger.
This is very terrible.
I heard Corey talking about this drink today, actually. He didn't go into a lot of detail. That tells me it's bad.
He's never tried it.
I did hear people like talking about things like ridiculously for sponsors long. Corey LaJoie was much more focused on his other sponsors than he was this one in talking today. I don't know if maybe this is a one-time deal maybe or something, but he was definitely pushing his other people more. What about this guy? I think this old boy's got a shot to win the 500 this year. This could be his year.
Yeah, last time we were at Daytona, an RCR car won the race.
That's true.
Even though it was
The spring race, but
a lot of cars were taken out.
a lot of cars were taken out, right?
This is the first time I'm seeing this. I like this. This is
hot.
This is pretty dope.
Yeah, this has got the
Beat energy.
100%. I'll be honest with you. I've already ordered a hat and haven't even seen the picture of it. I was just like, I saw the car and I was like, nah, dog, I got to get in on that. So I've done paid the money. I'm closing up and everything. I'm all about this. This is a hot car.
It is.
I want to see this in Victory Lane most definitely. I think Kyle's got the get up and go and the push over at RCR to make something happen this year. Why don't we take a break, recover, gather our thoughts, see what's going on, and come back after this? What do you think?
I need a break after that 3K.
Woo, boy.
White Blaze Outdoor provides educational hiking tours, fly fishing trips, and shuttles. We're located in Abingdon, Virginia near the Appalachian Trail. If you are only looking for an afternoon hike to see wild horses or a full multi-night trip, we have what you need and know where you want to be. We are currently booking adventures in southwestern Virginia and northeast Tennessee. For more information, visit whiteblazeoutdoors.com or call 276-356-7068.
Wrap it up. And we're back. Wrap it up. Segment 2, folks. Have you ever seen such a beautiful car?
Have you seen the same car
again?
Multiple weeks?
I got a feeling we're going to see this car a lot. Old Chase Elliott has got him a Napa ride he's going to ride all year. I like it, like I said last week. I did hear Chase today. He was the main guy today. He was adamant on live streaming in an interview that the Daytona 500 is not the Super Bowl of NASCAR. He said, strong words, he said, it's ignorant for anyone to think so, give or take. I can't remember if he used ignorant or stupid. I mean, he used a word. He does not think this race carries as much weight as a lot of other people do, which surprises me, being from a NASCAR family.
As a fan, as a person who has been to the Daytona 500 before, I disagree from a marketing standpoint because when you go to the 500, everything is 25 to 30% more
right.
priced than.
It's definitely a bigger deal in that way.
Yeah, right. So somebody's got to think it's something. So
yeah,
I disagree with Chase.
Definitely.
I'd like to kind of like know where he's coming from on those comments. But.
Yeah, it seems like an odd thing, especially for, his dad has won the 500. His dad's a champion. I mean, even when you introduce anybody, a retired driver or anything, and they're like, this multi-time champion, one of the things you get is multi or Daytona 500 winner. That's a resume builder. It can carry you.
Yeah.
So I really don't know where those words came from. Maybe he's just messing with people. Who knows? He's messed with people before. He said things to the media just to screw with people's minds, like how he didn't get invited on Bubba and Blaney's trip one time and all these things. He's a sneaky dude. Maybe he's sneaking some stuff out.
Another repeat this week.
Another one.
But
Smithfield, I feel like we're going to see this paint scheme a lot.
Yeah.
Because Smithfield got the money. They love the money.
Well, at least it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's simple, sleek, but it's nice.
When I see that 10 font, I just automatically think of Danica still. Even after all these years of Eric being in this car, I'm still like, that's Danica. That's Danica.
Yeah,
Eric's definitely taken the car up a notch. But
there's probably a split, subconscious thing that does happen there. Man, maybe that's why Eric doesn't run better than he does.
He's got that curse of Danica hanging
Curse of
over him.
Danica
Just
inside
from
the
being
car.
in the same number. It may happen.
Yeah.
I can see it. Absolutely.
Oh, the 50.
50 years of FedEx.
50 years of failure for Denny Hamlin.
On the 75th anniversary of NASCAR, FedEx has its 50th anniversary paint scheme.
They're trying to confuse us.
It's a very anniversarial event for Denny Hamlin. I got to admit, though, as I have said, and as I will say each time, when you put a full number on the car, it automatically got some points. I'm just for the number. Gold, foil, reflective. That's hot. That's hot. This is a different look for Denny, but I'll be honest with you, I'm digging it more than I do his purple he's normal standard been running the last couple of years.
Well,
Even
you
though it's
need
white.
some glasses.
Maybe. You might be right. I just said a moment ago I didn't care for a car when it was white, and this one's even more white.
And this one is.
I may be a moron. But it's something different. Denny's going to have a shot to win. No matter whether anybody likes it or not, he's going to be in the running. I'll be honest with you also, I think this is a really good use of the body panels and the layout of the new car. Like the way you could tell this design is made for this gen of car, as where like the 5 car is running that paint scheme that was designed several generations ago, and I don't think it fits as well anymore. This one, they've put it right on there and tried to make something fresh. I like that about it. It's very orderly. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll give it that. But other than that, I mean, it's nothing exciting. Nothing exciting. Here's an exciting person. The new Mr. Excitement. The new Mr. Everything. First of all, before we even go into this, speaking of Mr. Excitement, let's talk about what we got going on this week.
Oh, we got some great stuff.
This week, folks, every week we give away something. And we hope that these prizes get bigger and bigger and better. This week, since it's the 500, we're going to give away 3 things. Autographed items. 3 autographed. From Jimmy Spencer, Mr. Excitement himself. It's got the
big energy.
So big. 3 cards, a 1/64th hauler, all of them autographed by Jimmy Spencer. What do you think this is worth?
Jimmy Spencer?
$400, $500, $600,000?
I mean, it's pushing it.
It's a lot of money right here on the table,
I mean,
folks.
Kurt Busch would probably pay a lot for this.
He probably would. Kurt would want to destroy these. Listen, you see Kurt have one of these on you, have Kurt sign the back of it. If you see him somewhere, see how he reacts.
Yeah.
See how he takes it. It might be interesting. So here's all you got to do to win these. All you have to do is pick the winner of the Daytona 500. It's that simple.
Yep.
You've got a 1 in 40 shot right off the bat.
Yep.
And you put that in their comments. Everybody who's commented before the Daytona 500 for 2023 starts and picks the winner will be put into a random generator. One of those people we picked, we will contact you, and we will mail you 3 Jimmy Spencer autographs with the
Big
energy you've ever seen.
That's hot.
These will be at your home. Please, in preparation, begin to clear off the mantle of your fireplace or a place that is important in your home. Maybe you have a family Bible or something that sits on the coffee table. Take that and put it in storage. This right here, this is your talking piece. This is your family's heritage right here. This is what you pass down to the kids. This means something. Absolutely. So what do you think about the new Mr. Excitement? I'm going to name him right now, the Big 12.
Ryan Blaney?
Ryan Blaney.
I think Ryan Blaney wins the Daytona 500.
Oh, my gosh. That's
big energy.
right there.
I didn't even.
It's not a
plan
bad pick.
I didn't plan on saying that, but right now, that's who I'm going with.
I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I think it's a very possible. Ryan Blaney, great last year, didn't know wins. I think he's due this year to get some big wins.
Yeah.
I'm thinking multi-wins, more than one this year, like a 3-4 type thing, and I think he's definitely one of the guys you need to watch for come next week. What about this rookie?
Is he going to zip tie? Is that a
He's
zip
got
tie?
well, these are like zip ties, but they're faster. These are quick ties.
ties.
Yeah. So you ain't got time to zip. Get to Quicken.
Get the quick tie.
Get it tied down. So this man right here is going to drive in a few races for Colleague Racing. He's going to drive the 13 car in this one. You know, the 31 flipped around their main number that they started with. 3 cars Colleague's going to have in this year, 13, 16, and the 31. How do you think he does on the first out?
He might finish top 28.
That's pretty good. First Daytona 500, listen, just get that experience, you know. Being a rookie in the Daytona 500, other than Trevor Bain, doesn't usually produce very good results for you. Listen, there's going to be a wreck. You don't know what to do. I mean, I know this guy's good, and I know he's got skill, and he's been on big tracks, but he ain't been up with the big boys. I'm not going to give him a lot of credit this week, and maybe not his fault, but I see this as one of those cars that winds up in a big one, you know, because where he's going to – I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but these Colleague cars are, in this kind of situation, maybe mid-pack I'm feeling. But we haven't seen anybody on track. They may show up with the best motors in the world and blow everybody's doors off. You never know.
I mean, he's got the quick ties, so.
Well, you got me there. He does have the quick tie. And maybe that gets him. It is quick. And in racing, you want to be fast.
You know what's not quick?
What's that?
Mahindra tractors.
That's true. But they're not supposed to be quick.
That's right.
So we won't blame them. They can lift the weight of Tony Stewart, though.
Yeah.
We know that.
Multiple times.
Tony Stewart going to run full season in HRA. Funny cars. Top fuel dragster, I think.
Man.
Not for his own team. For somebody else.
He got married and he's going crazy.
He's moved on with his life.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why SHR was. I don't know. No, not really. I mean, there's plenty of people running these places. Just Tony being an owner, listen, just because he owns other teams isn't going to change it up. If that was the case, Mr. Penske would never win anything. That dude's, he owns IndyCar. I mean, he wins everything. So, what do you think about the year for old Chase Briscoe?
I think Chase has a road course win and maybe an oval win.
He about had the dirt win last year at Bristol.
Yeah, very close.
If him and Tyler Reddick hadn't gotten mixed up, it was one of them two was going to take it.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, Chase might be going.
It's Bristol, baby.
When he goes to sleep at night.
Very well could be. Very well could be. I could stand to see that. Chase seems like a nice guy. He's, I think, future-wise, I think SHR sees him as their main dude. This is they're building the future around this man.
Yeah.
And he signed an extension, I believe, was it just this week or in the off-season sometime? It hasn't been long. He's definitely locked in for a while.
Yeah.
So I see good things coming to the 14, absolutely. Let's do one more here before we have to go to break again.
Oh, it's the juice.
The juice. Rick Ware Racing.
Recware.
Recware, yeah.
You had
See,
it
listen,
right.
I had a subconscious slip.
Yeah.
I got the words out before I could even say who's driving this car. Because when I tell you who the driver of this car this week is, you're going to downgrade whatever position you think this man will finish. Give me, just for a normal Rick Ware Racing 15 car, give me what you think he finishes. This just car, without driver, on a standard weekend. He's back there, right?
P33.
Sure. Now, if I tell you Riley Herbst is going to drive this car.
Oh, Riley Herbst
is going to drive this Rick Ware car in the Daytona 500.
Oh, my word.
This is where the 13 car gets wrecked, I think.
Yes.
This is a wreck. This is 20 wrecks.
I mean, the kid in Xfinity is just a wreck. So
it's rough.
The former or a former driver of the Sonny D car will cause a wreck for sure in a super speedway race.
Ricky?
With Ricky. And so this
What is it with Sonny D? Sonny D's like, we want to know we're definitely going to be on TV this week.
Yes.
Who will wreck so that the camera's definitely sitting on our car?
That's it.
And that's how they do their marketing. They got a whole different marketing strategy. We don't forget paying winners, pay wreckers. You get them cheaper, you get the TV time. It makes sense.
For a Rick Ware car, this car is nice.
It is.
I like
for a
this
Rick
nice.
Ware car, isn't it?
It's going to be a very nice car just to be destroyed.
Well, Riley Herbst being a developmental driver for Stuart Haas, and this being another Ford, and the car looking decent, My bet is somebody over at Stuart Haas did this paint scheme, and they're sticking it on the Rick Ware entry, but this is really a Stuart Haas car just with a Rick Ware number on it for the business. But I still don't give this man credit that he's going to. Listen, you don't like it? Tell me. If you are a Riley Herbst fan, tell us in the comments, because I don't believe you exist. I don't believe that anybody is a Riley Herbst fan. I don't even think Riley Herbst is a Riley Herbst fan. I think Riley Herbst's mother watches the race and says, I just wish he'd do something else.
Right.
You know, he's a good boy. I just wish he'd do something else. This isn't his thing. That's just what I feel. All right, let's do one more before we go. What do you think about the big man?
Oh, another Colleague Racing entry.
A.J. Allmendinger.
This looks like
Same
baby food.
plant
Colors.
food.
Plant food.
This
Baby
was-
food.
This was the same company he's had all last year, the Ag Solutions, the NG. But I guess this is just one of their types of seeds they're featuring, kind of like Exalta putting the Raptor on there. It's just another one of their brands. Yeah. Same sponsorship from the same big company back in AJ. AJ got a shot at the 500?
Yeah, AJ could be a dark horse.
He could, absolutely. He's
sure.
got the experience. He's got a car that he's going to know how to use better than the 13. I don't know where their motor program is going to be this year. But I bet you if A.J. Allmendinger has any shot whatsoever to win the Daytona 500, everybody else better get out of the way, because that man, he's hungry for anything he can get, and he'll move them if he has to. I would. Yeah. I'll move the whole freaking field to win the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
All right. I've got excited now thinking about maybe I could be in the 500, and it's got me upset. Let's take another break.
Let's do it.
All right.
Wrap it up.
White Blaze Outdoor provides educational hiking tours, fly fishing trips, and shuttles. We're located in Abingdon, Virginia near the Appalachian Trail. If you are only looking for an afternoon hike to see wild horses or a full multi-night trip, we have what you need and know where you want to be. We are currently booking adventures in southwestern Virginia and northeast Tennessee. For more information, visit whiteblazeoutdoors.com or call 276-356-7068.
All right. Welcome back to
Wrap it up.
where we are discussing the entries and the paint jobs for the Daytona 500.
Ooh.
The Daytona. Most classic arcade game of all the millennials.
If you're middle-aged and you don't have that tattooed on your soul, you didn't get out of the house much.
Yeah.
Because, man, that game, just that song, just in my head 24 hours a day. When the week's coming, I wake up and it's just rolling.
Just
I'm ready for it.
insidious competition flowing through my mind. Gripping the steering wheel. All right, who we got next?
17 car.
Chris Bush.
He's got that fast and all. Future. I heard him today over at Media Day. He sounds like he's in a good mood. He's in a locked-in car that's on maybe the up. They're on the come-up, I'm going to say, Roush Fenway. They're building them RWR cars. They've made an alliance to in-house build Rick Ware's cars. So that's another reason I say Riley Herbst being in that car is probably not a Roush car this time. I'm thinking Cody Ware's going to get the Roush car, and Herbst there's going to get him a fifth Stuart Haas car with a 15 painted on it. So this guy might have about those same kinds of engines, though. But
Yeah, had a win last year at Bristol. So.
he did have a win at Bristol last year, and we're coming to you folks deep underground, under the surface of Bristol. If you can make it to Bristol this year, folks, we're always there, and we would love to see you. Come on out. I think the 17 car is somebody who's going to have a shot there, but more importantly, does he have it this weekend? I think he could. I think it's a possibility. Some people, no matter how good. You might say anybody could win it. No, not anybody. But this is one of them that could. Now, last week we made a terrible mistake. I said on the show last week that I had read on a Facebook group, NSP, the NASCAR posting group, that Gene Wilder, they had reported, had passed away. And I was wrong about that. That was a fake post. It turns out he's going to be the Grand Marshal for the 500.
Whoa!
Yeah.
There he is.
So I'm happy to see he's doing better. I'm sorry to all the fans who got that wrong. We look forward to seeing Gene waving that flag on Sunday. That's going to be awesome.
Wow.
The club.
The club is back.
Get in the club. It is a hot
Beat energy.
Man,
car.
Martin won the Clash, and now he's racing haulers.
He can do it all. He doesn't have to drive to Florida. He can just drive the car there. There's a whole, like, Smokey and the Bandit thing going on here.
Man.
And I'm digging it. Again, one of the hottest cars of the year. And first real points race of the year, and I'm already calling it
Beat energy.
one of the hottest paint schemes we will see. I don't care. If anything possibly hotter shows up, I'll poke my own eyes out. That's how confident I am in this paint scheme. God, it's beautiful.
It is nice. It's very nice.
I'm in love with it.
Martin starts off strong.
Call me, Johnny. Call me, baby. Call me on the phone. Talk to me.
Maybe.
I love this so much.
Could it be his last year?
I'm going to say yes, but I could be wrong. You know, like he's changed his whole life around. Him and his girlfriend broke up.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he's like going long haul. He's like, I'm going to be Mark Martin. I don't know, but I really thought he would retire last year, and they talked him into supposedly staying one more year in the 19. But, you know, things have changed over at JGR from that time, so who knows? Maybe they need him to fill out the thing for another year. Let's see. Here's his teammate.
JGR.
Got the
Looks shiny.
DeWalt with the more ream hanging in there than the standard DeWalt.
Yeah.
I like the silver.
I
I like the yellow and black.
the chrome.
Chrome,
numbers.
definitely.
Nice.
Oof. You know, the only thing I don't like about it is you got so many multiple companies that the color schemes don't go together. Like this one works together, though, even though you got two totally different companies. The yellow, the red, the black kind of all go together. I can let this one slide, I think. This is a pretty hot car.
Yeah. C-Bell has won at Daytona before, just not on the oval formation.
Right? He's won the road. Toyota's pushing him hard. They want him to be a big boy for them, and he may be.
He finished a year strong last year, so
Absolutely.
we'll see how
He's a little bit mad at Joe. He's called Joe out publicly because Joe told him he couldn't go dirt racing anymore, and Christopher Bell's one of the best in the country along with Larson. And they told him he can't do that, and he's just started saying, he told me I can't do that, and I'm not happy about it, basically. He said Coy Gibbs, who passed away last year, always went and fought for him before and talked Joe into it. And now that he's gone, things are different with Joe.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hate to hear that. That's bad for the dirt community because that guy's got talent.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, this guy's probably not going to win the 500, but...
Hey, last year, though, he was the only guy to get airborne.
Yes.
So you got to give him credit there.
In a car that's not supposed to get airborne.
Right.
So he's like a space cadet.
He's accomplished things right off the bat that they said was impossible.
so
this man's really out there
to
doing
prove
it.
me wrong.
Right.
What if he wins? Just like Trevor Bayne in the 21.
Right. Maybe. I mean, this is the same paint scheme pretty much that Trevor Bayne even won in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know, they run this a lot, but it's kind of a throwback to their last win. Well, not their last win, but yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. The deck's imaging down the side, at least it's red and matches it up. Like I said before, I don't like that the red stops at the front, kind of like it's a thing set on top. I wish the red went all the way down to the grill.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think that'd come out better, but I'll take it. Harrison Burton probably has a better year than he did last year. I don't think he's taken home any trophies. He may still win, but just the pecking order at Penske, this is their test developmental car. And if somebody is getting lesser equipment coming out of the Penske shop, it has to be the 21.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's the case, but you know how things go.
Here's a guy that's not going to take any trophies home.
You think the defending champion, two-time, one of the strongest men in the sport, wins 0 races this year? Listen,
I would love it.
I could see that. A lot of people would. Joey's either one of those guys, he's very polarizing. Either you really like Joey or you don't. Usually. There's not a lot of middle ground. I'm one of the people who's in the middle ground. I think I'm a rare guy in that. Maybe I'm a little biased because it's my mom's favorite driver, and I give him a little slack because of that. You know what, though? Joey has shown me recently, maybe he wants to be a little intimidator, Like this whole thing with the clash, he's sitting there talking to Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch came out of the car and was like, "This is messed up. He's two-faced." And Joey's like, "I am two-faced. I get in the car and I turn on a switch." Because they had talked to each other in the studio and they were nice, and then they got out there and he turned him. So you kind of give him some credit there. He'll be a nice guy to you when you're around, but you get in the car and he ain't gonna take no crap.
I can't wait to see the 8
Yeah, pay it back.
punt him into the wall. Be great.
It would be great.
Not. I wouldn't condone that at Daytona.
Sure, right?
But,
Yeah, Martinsville, Bristol Dirt,
I mean, come on.
something like that. That's where you get your payback.
I hope it
Absolutely.
happens multiple times.
Joey's got to be ready for it. He knows what he's doing. He's
But
already setting it up early this year.
I do like Joey Logano's car.
Yeah.
I just don't like the driver that much.
You know, I'm a child of the 80s, and anytime I see yellow and red, it's just big Hulk Hogan energy for me in my brain, or McDonald's. And so McDonald's and Hulk Hogan, that's the 80s in my mind, and yellow and red, everything. I'm just kind of tired of it, to be honest with you. He's ran it for several years, and sometimes I complain, you know, why isn't it like back in the day you get a scheme and you stick with it and you know that's the uniform? But this one, I'm just ready for a change on it. I want him to move on. I mean, I know this is what it's going to look like with that sponsor, but
Move on, Joey. Retire.
you haven't seen this, have you?
I haven't seen this.
I saw this just a few hours ago for the first time. They just released this. Changing up the McD's scheme, taking all the words I just said about Joey, taking the yellow and red out and just making it details with this gray or dark gray, black, different.
Just charcoal gray. Huh.
It's a very odd pick for McDonald's, I think. But I'm sure there's something to it for some reason, like that I don't understand. Like 2311 didn't release like a statement with this. So we didn't get anything, hey, we're running this as a special scheme for this reason, or we changed it up for this. I did hear Bubba and Noah Gragson being on the radio a little today, having a little back and forth about maybe a nugget eating contest, Wendy's versus McDonald's. See who could put the most nuggets away, you know. I think that'd be good for everybody. Sponsor. Maybe do it right before green flag.
I think you should do it while they're having the race.
While they're in the car. You got just a barrel in the passenger seat. They can like, that's another thing. After the race, they just count how many's left of each nugget.
Yeah, whoever wins.
Then after the race, you know, you're trying to get the nuggets out. Maybe they've got to take a pressure washer to the inside of Bubba's car or Noah's car, because if it's me, I got 500 miles to eat as many nuggets as I can. I'm going to put them away, and if I have to drop a load to recondition, I'm going to win, you know. I'm going to be a competitor.
You do what you got to do.
How many nuggets you ever ate at one sitting?
I don't know, at least 4.
Boy, okay, that's fair. I'm going to, McDonald's-wise, definitely over 40 in one setting. I might have ate a whole 50-piece bucket before.
Ooh.
I can't remember, but I've got close, I know. So it's over 40, maybe under 50. So I feel like I could be a competitor, definitely. What about
Big energy.
This is a big energy.
for number 24?
The Raptor is back.
Raptor. I like the white.
for you.
I like the black.
I like it all.
I like the green. I like William Byron. William Byron in contention, I believe, almost every year. I mean, he's going to make the chase without a doubt.
I picked Slick Billy Byron to win the Cup this year.
Did you?
I did.
Wow. That's a big pick. I got him going at least round of 12, I think. And I think he has multiple wins. But when you get to that round of 8, man, you got to make cuts, and I'm like, who falls apart? Maybe this isn't Billy's year. Honestly, at some point, it's going to be that. I mean, he's had these years where it's like, okay, we're getting going. I think the switch is going to flip at some point. You may be right. This could be his year.
I'm going to call it. He's going to win the last Martinsville race to transfer into the championship.
Oh.
And he's going to win the Cup.
Dang. Big details. You might need
heard it here.
You need to get on a betting site and go ahead and put those bets in before any of this adds up. Okay, let me go check the DraftKings, the BetMGM. Let's take a break. Let me reevaluate my bank account, take your words at heart, and see what I can do. We'll take one more break, and we'll come back with the rest of Wrap It Up.
Wrap it up.
White Blaze Outdoor provides educational hiking tours, fly fishing trips, and shuttles. We're located in Abingdon, Virginia near the Appalachian Trail. If you are only looking for an afternoon hike to see wild horses or a full multi-night trip, we have what you need and know where you want to be. We are currently booking adventures in southwestern Virginia and northeast Tennessee. For more information, visit whiteblazeoutdoors.com or call 276-356-7068.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Justin, what's my weakness?
Circles.
Close. Men is the answer from Salt and Pepper's 1992 hit Shoop. But men who drive race cars, I'm going to say. Ooh. That's my weakness. And here's a man who's driving for his life, maybe. I think last year he was worried he was going to lose his ride, especially when Kyle was a free agent. The number 131 of Justin Haley.
Yeah.
He's got the circles. I don't know. Circles. I think it is pronounced circle, but it's like circle. And it has fruit involved and water, I think.
There's fruit shooting out of the radiator already. That's not good.
Listen, if you've got a raspberry that big in your radiator, you haven't prepared for the season already.
They're doomed.
Just maybe the 31's not going to have a good year.
But Justin Haley runs better on super speedways than he
Absolutely.
does anywhere else.
He's got one win. It was a rain win, but it was a super speedway, wasn't it?
Crazy.
So
maybe you picked a bet on.
It could be. I bet it's got good odds. You can make some money, I bet.
This is a pick to bet on right here.
This man has done it before,
and
he can do it again.
He loves to go to the truck stop.
He loves Speedco. Whatever Speedco is. I think it's just part of the truck stop it loves. I think it's like mechanics. Super nice dude.
It's a new type of biofuel to put in your truck.
Put it in. I would not bet against this man not to win the Daytona 500. Listen, some people might say he's still an underdog, but he is a 500 champion. And he ran so strong last year, it was ridiculous in this C-minus car. This dude, and I know like he's got some years on him. He's been around to get to where he's at. Maybe, nobody wants to try to build a program at this point. But, man, I hope the 34 does well and gets him some wins before it's over.
I do, too.
He's in a contract year every year. That's the way Front Row does things. I hope this isn't Michael McDowell's last year. I'm not sure on that. I heard a very small, tiny rumor that maybe there was going to be a change-up. My thoughts are that the 38 changes more than – and this is why right here. Because we've got the 36 running in the race. This is Zane Smith.
I think this is a guy I saw got married over Christmas break or
Maybe.
something. Or him and Todd Gilliland were together. One of them got married. I think
okay.
I don't know which one it was, but it looked like they were having fun.
Yeah.
This looks like cat litter or something. It reminds me of cat litter.
I can see that. Pretty litter. Well care. We take care of your cats. These two random dots on the back of the deck lid, very strange that just paint that white. I don't know. But here's the big deal with Zane Smith, okay? Zane Smith brought this WellCare hospital or whatever, clinic, whatever it is, on board. And apparently they have given Front Row so much money and been like, no, we want things done a certain way, that Front Row has agreed that Todd Gilliland will not get to now run the full season. In the 500, the 36 car will enter with Zane Smith. And in 4 more races, Todd Gilliland will have to set out, and Zane Smith will drive his car with the WellCare sponsorship on it. So the 38 is going to have 2 different drivers throughout the year. 36 coming up for this one special race. We know the 38 ain't winning a cup. I feel like Todd Gilliland's got to feel bad. Like, listen, they don't believe in me. But I think the idea is, Todd, we're going to hold on to you next year, but if you'll let us get this sponsor happy to get Smith here for 24 and we'll all be better in 24 if you can set out a few races. I think that's how they talked him into it to make him happy.
So your salary cap's max and it's a rebuilding year.
Right? And Front Row's had a lot of rebuilding years.
They're
I'm not sure how many because I don't know what year they opened.
They're experts.
But they definitely are in the process. And here's Todd's car now.
There it is.
He's running that big. He's got all the 8s gathered up.
The only thing I'll ever see or think about when I see this is Kevin Harvick just ramming him at the Clash, which I was like, this is crazy.
It was pretty insane. It's almost like, Harvick's just like, kid, I can do whatever I want this year. I can do whatever I wanted before. I'm Kevin Harvick. And you're Todd Gilliland, David Gilliland's son. Get out of my way. Nobody cares. Move. It's just no respect. Like, not even acting like he's trying to get respect. He's like, screw you, kid. I hope you die. You don't even get to drive your own car all year. I feel sorry for Todd. It's not a good year, not a good start. One way Todd could fix it, win the 500.
Wow.
Don't think it's going to happen.
No.
But it could. But, anything could happen. Here's a man I think's got a shot.
This guy was the shock of the night for me at the Clash.
Yeah.
This guy almost won the Clash.
Yeah, really.
I mean, he was just – well, they said it had to do something with types of tracks he's grown up racing or something. But,
oh, okay.
as they were talking about – Clint Boyer was talking about it on the broadcast. But, yeah, who knows? I don't – my expectations are neutral now on this guy.
Yeah.
Going into this new ride, which he actually has, good equipment, and we'll see what happens.
When he was in the 37, their teammate into the 47, he had some decent runs in that car.
Sure.
This car, definitely, this team is so much stronger than that team. I really believe that this car could come out the gate and surprise some people this year. I really do.
Already has.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I mean, so keep an eye out. The 41 can win, I think, this year. Definitely. And I'm going to give it. Honestly, I like the Haas paint schemes always. I like CNC machines. Haas is cool. I like the whole idea behind it. I think it's a cool thing. Yeah. And I think this is going to be a good car. Speaking of those food wars, here's your boy Noah, who was talking about eating them chicken nuggets.
He got burgers.
He got the beef, baby.
Bacon. He got chicken. They got it all done there at Wendy's.
Wendy got some driving goggles on. She ready to go, baby.
She thinks this is an airplane.
Wendy's way off on what kind of vehicle this is. She's more in the mindset of like a Snoopy type deal where he gets on top of his house and thinks it's a World War I biplane that he flies. I don't know, Yeah. Wendy seems to be in that mindset that this is an aerial show or something. I know the 42 kind of has that classic look to it too, so it kind of fits,
I really don't like this, though. Like last week, he went from a really cool-looking car to this is kind of just like a bunch of garbage thrown together. Like,
it's really weird, isn't it? Blue, white, black, red, going from the back to the front. It's a strange thing. I like that there's another fast food place in the mix, a different sponsor that he's brought with him. But today he's like, I'm going to go across the street to the Wendy's over there, and I'm going to order. He's like, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get this, and he's like naming off the food he's going to get. And they're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get one big meal to really carb up or something. And they're like, yeah, you get that, one unhealthy meal a week. He's like, no, Wendy's is healthy. That's what he said. I was like, okay, dude, listen, I know you got to push your sponsor, but don't tell me Wendy's is healthy. Like, don't get ridiculous out here and start making up embellished lies. That look at the hamburger on the front of your car. It's like half of a cow with cheese covered in it. There's no health to this. Here's a surprise.
What is this?
Guns N' Roses, the band, is sponsoring the 43.
Wow.
And nobody else, just Guns N' Roses. How weird.
Are they NASCAR fans?
I don't know.
Are they?
This is one of the most surprising sponsorships I've ever seen. I was just like, what? Where did this come from? I heard Jimmy Johnson say, who's now a part owner of this. Jimmy Johnson said the first concert he ever went to was 1992 Guns N' Roses in California, and now they're on a car that he owns.
Maybe Jimmy's really
Maybe he's connected with Guns N' Roses really big. I don't know. It's black, and it has roses on it. And I guess for the hood, it has two guns on it.
Very straightforward.
Very straightforward.
It's not confusing at all.
No. Maybe people who weren't music fans in the 80s and early 90s will just assume, there's a store open that sells Guns N' Roses. I don't know.
There you go.
A little more information would have been nice.
Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick.
And the classic Monster Energy.
Classic monster. I like how you said the classic monster. How many years has this monster scheme really been running? Couple. Another thing, I mean, I know it's their brand, flat black, write this on and stuff, but I don't know. Put one of them NASCAR random colored spikes we were talking about. Put a swish turner, one of these just random graphics on it. Give it some color. I don't know. I've seen it done so many times.
Reddick wins 5 races this year.
5.
5 races.
You might be right. He had 3 last year in the 8 car. And I could be wrong, but the 8 car might not be as strong as the 45 car was last year. But then again, everything could have changed. 5's a big number. That's a large percentage of races.
That's my driver, number 5.
I get it. He
5.
definitely wins. 5's a little much for me to digest. I think he makes the round of 16, of course. He's in the playoffs. I don't know about how far deep he's going to go, but he's definitely going to be successful. There's a definite reason Denny Hamlin's done everything he's done to put him in the car.
I like to wipe my butt.
Beat energy.
For butt wiping, 100%.
And a lot of people will be wiping their butts on Sunday at
That's
the
true.
Daytona 500 after this guy causes a huge wreck.
Yeah. You know what I like about this? Now, the original Cottonelle scheme they released, where all the black is, they had white. And they knew right off the bat, go ahead and put black on it. It's going to be a sad day. It's going to be a very somber event for us at the 500. Our car, we know, isn't going to make it. But if you could just get it on TV, Ricky, we'd be happy. Yeah. Ricky.
It's weird seeing a toilet paper sponsor in a NASCAR race. For
right.
Me. But I like the car.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I like the colors.
Something different.
Car.
Normally, Ricky gets a lot of just random sponsors. Kroger's just sticking small logos all over everything.
Yeah.
This, I like just the big whole thing. It's a good look, different look. They usually go with very bright schemes. I like a little darkness on it. Think Ricky pulls off anything this year?
Maybe. I mean, he just pulls one out of his hat one week.
Maybe.
It's
this
possible.
is a team I think also could be somebody Toyota looks to next year as that other people to start bringing up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that could be something. Let's do one more and take another break.
Oh!
Have you seen the 48 car?
I saw it one time.
He's got the light scheme going on. Now, he's got a huge run of front row finishes, qualifyings for Daytona. Mm-hmm. And, of course, when y'all are watching this, you've already seen qualifying. That's still coming up tonight for us. You think he can do it again? Just signed, they announced a new extension deal, multi-year deal to be in the 48 car. Pressure's off. All that talk about, I don't know about Bowman. He's in. He's locked in.
I don't think he's on the front row tonight.
You don't think he does it again?
Yeah.
Maybe not, but they know something at that engine shop to make that thing run. I think Bowman has a good year, though. I'm not looking to him to win. Let's take another break, check in with the posts online, see who's died, what old celebrities are still alive that we didn't know about, and come back and finish this up with one more segment of Wrap It Up.
Wrap it up!
White Blaze Outdoor provides educational hiking tours, fly fishing trips, and shuttles. We're located in Abingdon, Virginia near the Appalachian Trail. If you are only looking for an afternoon hike to see wild horses or a full multi-night trip, we have what you need and know where you want to be. We are currently booking adventures in southwestern Virginia and northeast Tennessee. For more information, visit whiteblazeoutdoors.com or call 276-356-7068.
What about the number 50?
Got bit now.
Bitten?
I got bit by a Nile crocodile.
Did you? You're a big herpetologist. You pick up a lot of random animals off the ground when they didn't ask to be.
Yeah.
That are reptiles.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you ever been bit by?
The weirdest thing. I was stung by a scorpion. That was kind of interesting because we don't have scorpions here in this part of the country like some other people might. But
Where's that at?
that was in Costa Rica.
Okay.
I've been bit by snakes, but it's not really weird for me. It just happens.
Not weird to get bit by a snake, sure. Yeah. I mean, one time, I remember we were walking to Bristol Motor Speedway one time. Bunch of people there, and we were, 20 foot from the creek over there as you're walking in. and you're like, there's a snake. I'm like, what? I'm like, I can't even barely see the water running in the creek, and I have, like, good vision. You're like, here you go. You go over and pick it up. There's a bunch of high schoolers there, like, working things. You're like, hey, kids, check this out. And it's like, they're hitting your hand. They're like, oh, my God. And you're like, yeah, no big deal. I'm like, all right, here we go.
I mean,
It's Bristol, baby.
It is Bristol, baby. Maybe you need to get a contract, go down there and be the pest exterminator.
oh, yeah.
What about this? This Connor Daly guy, big IndyCar driver, supposed to have some talent, but it's his first NASCAR race. He's picked a good one to be the first one in, and Big Time Boxing owns this car. They got anything for anybody?
No.
Open car? Do they make the race? Somebody has to go home. Who is it? Is it the 50?
Who? I don't know who is this. Who's under the hood of this? Who's making this car?
This is Floyd Mayweather's money car, the number 50. Floyd Mayweather owns this car. Kaz Gralla drove it last year with those wraparound sunglass sponsorship, which was a hot scheme because it was really different.
Maybe.
Floyd got cash.
Man, it might make the race.
I'm not sure who's actually building this for Floyd's team. I think it's RCR.
If he just rides around tomorrow night at the races and waits till someone wrecks and can
He's got to go, baby.
get in. So,
He don't have a charter. He's got to qualify. Somebody's going home. This man has to put up some time. Never been on the track in this kind of car. Here's another car.
the world.
This is the one car we could not get the scheme for this week. And when we can't find the schemes, what we do is we use the power of the future to know what the scheme's going to look like. And here it is, the 51 car of Cody Ware.
Oh.
It's Cody Ware, the 51. Look out on pit road.
Yes, definitely. We put into an AI Cody Ware NASCAR race car number 51, 2023, and the Biohaven car that he's running again, but a little bit different than the Clash because he's got a side sponsor on it. And the computers of the world told us this is what that car will look like. What do you think?
I think that the chimps that drew the car last time did a better job.
They did. The computer may be off. The 5 looks like a 4 that they cut the bottom off of. Biohaven, I don't even see it wrote on the car. It's like they wanted to say it was a Camry on the front, but it's like a Canary or a Caddy. I can't read it.
Prism.
Yeah, I don't even know if this car's legal. Computer may be way off. I don't know. There's something really tall and yellow right there in the wheel duct itself. I think that's going to be a problem for Cody.
This is, at North Wilkesboro.
Right? It's definitely not a Daytona seating arrangement, is it? It's a pretty small seating section. And it looks like, by my view, that this would be going backwards on the track. So, but again, maybe that's Cody. So, what about Ty Gibbs and his rookie Daytona 500 mixing together two of his big-time sponsors for this year, Monster Energy and Interstate Batteries on the side? What do you think about that?
I kind of like that car.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident. I think Ty's going to make someone mad in this race.
I think Ty's going to make a lot of people mad all year long.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were mad last year. Maybe he learns from that because he's not the big boy winning everything. Yeah. I think this is a little bit of a wake-up call. I know that's a good car. I know he's a good driver. There's a lot of experience working against him.
Yep.
I still think he has a good run, though. He may get a good top 10 out of it. Who knows?
Speaking of multiple top 10s.
Yeah. Here's a guy who has to make the race. Austin Hill. Multiple top 10s when counting how many times he has to set out of the race, maybe. I don't know. Multiple times. 62 car, really built by RCR, but fielded by a small independent race team that only does a handful of races. Noah Gregson drove this car quite a few times last year and the year before, I think. And then they had South Point casino owner
Brendan Gaughan's dad.
Brendan Gaughan's dad paid for Brendan Gaughan to drive this car for a couple of years till Brendan said, I just can't do it anymore. But Austin Hill got him a sponsor to come up from the Xfinity Series, and so they're going to run this sucker. You think Austin Hill makes a race? He's one of the open cars.
Yeah, I think Austin Hill will make the race.
I think he makes the race. I don't see a win or anything in his future. But I think they've got a good shot for the open cars to get in, definitely.
Yeah.
Another open car, 2311's third entry, the number 67 Black Rifle Coffee Company, Travis Pastrana, coming back after several years of going from trying to get into NASCAR from all his super jumps and tricks and things he does.
Yeah, Travis Pastrana coming back. I don't know. Man, he's going to have to drink a lot of that Black Rifle coffee to be able to get up there. He just, I watched him a few races in the Xfinity Series, and he just never did really do much.
It wasn't his thing, He did better in trucks, but that's been a lot of years ago. They compare trucks more to the Cup cars now. I like the paint scheme. I like the plaid.
Yeah, it's kind of
That's
nice.
a hard one, man. Ain't nobody going to make no custom die-cast that, but I'm going to say,
Beat energy.
got that big die-cast energy. I'd like to see that one get made. That's a hot car. 2311, definitely going to be expansion in 2311's future for Toyota. We're going to see this number, I think, be their third number, and, just using common sense of how numbers work, I'm going to say the 89's their fourth car when it shows up.
They're just introducing this to us now.
Yeah. But they say qualifying at Daytona, he's still got to run in the duels unless he gets the pole. So, what about your boy?
Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon.
I didn't know Ty Dillon bought our local funeral home.
He did. He's sponsored by the local funeral home we have around here. We know some folks who are involved in that, and I'm glad to see them step it up because this really fits out Ty's career. Ty's career's dead, and a funeral home really says what Ty needs.
Man,
bury him.
somebody give the marketing guy a raise, a new position. Come on.
Ty,
They're
love him.
driving tractors to the funeral home out
He's got.
here.
Apparently, this is riding mowers that Ty. I watched his reveal of this, and down the middle, you can't see it in this picture, but it's got like these spring-looking things all in the black part that are in the background that are about the shocks. The big thing about these Ferris motors that Ty kept wanting to tell us, boy, they got the best shocks of any riding mower you ever been on. That's our feature. It's the smoothest ride ever. So maybe it's a luxury mower, I guess.
All right.
Ty might be driving a luxury motor next season if he don't pull off something in the 77 this year. Mower racing might be where he needs to go.
Power slap. Bam, bam.
Power slap!
Power slap.
Rumble!
Rumbles.
It's got all the words. Power, slap, rumble, go, get it. Ugh.
Fast.
Beat energy.
Guy with a beard. We got power. 78, live fast. BJ McLeod. BJ, win Daytona 500?
Maybe on the arcade.
You know who I think's really got a better shot, though, when we compare him to the 78 car? That's Mr. Excitement.
Jimmy Spencer.
Jimmy Spencer might have a better shot than the 78 car. And if you haven't seen our other segments, we're giving away 3 autographs of Jimmy. Jimmy Spencer. 3, 1, 2, 3.
Jimmy.
We're not sure of the actual value of these, but we have estimated it in the previous segment around $600,000.
Hey, easy.
Easy. You take them and have them appraised. Again, get a professional to put a number on this. You'll need it for the home insurance. You'll have to up your home insurance. I'm sorry. We can't help you with that. And also, if it gets lost in the mail, I can't help you with that. I'm going to take it to the post office we have here.
It's Bristol, baby.
So it might get lost. It might not. I've had it happen before. But I'm going to put it in the mail, and I'm going to send it to your house. If you can guess who wins the Daytona 500, if you get it right, we'll randomly draw one of those people, and they're going to get 3 autographed Jimmy Spencer collector items. If you come on and say it's the 78, I guarantee you'll win if he wins the race because there ain't going to be a lot of people picking the 78, I don't think.
Nope.
It could happen. Stranger things have happened.
There's a show
Maybe
about
not. Have stranger things happened?
There's a show about it.
It's true. There is a show. I have watched the show. They never mentioned B.J. McLeod by name on Stranger Things.
It's incognito.
That makes sense.
A lot of signals are sent in that show.
It's a lot of underground stuff. I heard B.J. had a lot to do with the QAnon movement. A lot of signals, a lot of things you got to read into on Stranger Things. It's like that. Next season's the final season of Stranger Things. Look for the 78 car to show up in that, definitely.
I mean,
With the power slap energy, I don't see how it can't. It's got
Rumble.
the...
Beat energy.
another Jimmy.
How about the other Jimmy? Number 48 in your hearts and 84 in your programs. 7-time Cup champion, Jimmy Johnson, coming at you with the we have already went bankrupt, but still somehow we're paying for a car to run this weekend at the Daytona 500 Carvana car. I got to admit, though, I kind of like the blue lines on it. It gives it a little classy look. They got that Petty font. That's one thing I hate about the name change for this team from Petty GMS to Legacy Motor Company is Richard Petty's name. Just, he is the king. And now you got Jimmy Johnson, who also has 7 championships. I get it. And he's that next generation that has to carry it on. But I hate just not seeing the king's name on a car.
Yeah.
You know, it's been there almost always for me. So, what do you think about Jimmy? Got a shot?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You know, I don't know. Does he run 500 again next year? Does he keep running part-time for a couple years? Maybe. Or is this his last 500 start, and he's got to throw everything he's got at it? I don't know. I think he's an open car also. Does he make the race? Do you
What
think
if he doesn't
7-time
make the
Jimmy Johnson doesn't make the race?
That'd be wild.
Wouldn't that be insane?
That would be wild.
I think he makes the
Yeah, I
race.
think he makes a race, but
I think so, definitely. I don't see a win, but you know what? He's done it before. He could do it again. If anybody out of left field could pull it off, I think this is the car. And that's just because of the experience.
And you're wrong.
What about this last one? We got one more. Mi amigo Daniel Suarez.
I have a hard time seeing. Is that Tootsie's?
That is Tootsie's. That's this year's Tootsie's scheme, running the Big Purple. Tootsie's Orchid Lounge down in Nashville is just a bar, right? One bar, one location.
They love it there.
They got a lot of money for one bar in Nashville to sponsor a car a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. Maybe Justin, the owner's got some tie-in with that or something. I don't know. I kind of dig it. I'm not a big purple fan, but honestly, this is probably the nicest purple car I've ever seen.
Yeah, at least it's got some variation with some black thrown in.
I like the black stripe. Really makes it stand
kinda cool.
out. 99 reflective.
I like Suarez. I hope he wins a couple races this year.
Absolutely.
I don't know if he wins the 500, though.
I don't know either, but you know what? With Trackhouse and the way they came out so strong last year, I'm going to believe anything's possible with that team.
Yeah.
Totally for the paint scheme.
Big energy.
This sucker needs to be a die cast sitting on a shelf I can look at because that's a hot car. And boy, if it was a 500 win, would it be nice. We'll see. Suarez definitely going to have a great year. What do you think? Final call, you're saying the 12.
The 12 wins the Daytona 500,
I'd be all right with that.
and the 24 wins the NASCAR championship.
Wow. Big picks. I have picked the 8 car to win
the Cup?
the 500.
Oh,
The 500 this year. And the Cup, I might have picked the 8 also. I might have picked with my heart
yeah.
more than my brain. I might have picked the 8 to win a lot of things this year. And I was like, well, you know, he could do that. He could do that. He could do that. So I might have went a little strong on the 8. But I feel like this is a big year for Kyle Busch. So we'll see what happens. Any final thoughts before duels, races, qualifying, anything? What's the weekend give us, Justin?
Will President Joe Biden show up at the race this year?
Probably not.
Man.
I'm not sure he knows the races are happening.
I mean,
So I don't think there's going to be a big president thing, but that doesn't matter because you can have Mr. Excitement. Who needs Mr. President
what
when
if
you got
he shows
Mr.
up?
Excitement? Jimmy Spencer, comment. Tell us who wins. This can be yours. And be
I
sitting in
wish
your-
Jimmy Spencer would run into duels tomorrow night. That'd be great.
If there was a car, we could
The Camel.
Camel. Oh, bring
Old
back the
camel
camel car. Ooh. Now, see, that's another thing. That was a purple car. This is up there. One of those two, hottest purple cars. All right, folks. We appreciate you watching this one with us. We're going to do it every single race of the season. We're going to be at a lot of the races. Come up, talk to us, get on the show. We'll film something. We're going to just have fun. We're doing this just to hang out with people and have a good time, and we hope you watch with us. We love every single one of you. I hope to God you're having a good day and a great weekend. We'll see you next time.
Wrap it up.